Hunter
I'm doing
Mahan,
great.
how
Thanks
are
for
you,
having me,
sir?
guys.
No, we're good, man. No, I
Good.
have to ask you this question. Obviously, I spent my career playing for the New York Giants. You were born in California. Are you a Cowboys fan? You kind of have to be, right?
I'm not a huge Cowboys fan. I mean, I'm a football fan. I'm a big college football fan with the Oklahoma State. So I'm a big Oklahoma State fan. Big NFL fan, but I've grown to like players and maybe organizations more than just individual teams. I don't want to. I want to keep my options open when it comes to the NFL.
Did
Nice.
you like
Nice.
Tiki?
No, he didn't. Well, he probably did, but his wife was a cheerleader for the Cowboys. That's why I had to ask. So now we can continue this conversation since you're not
Wait,
really
now the
a Cowboys fan.
conversation's just starting. Wait, she was a Dallas Cowgirl? Now the conversation just starts, man.
I just say I'm very lucky in my life. There's no doubt about that.
I hear you. By the way, I think we have a little delay. That's just so everybody's aware of what's going on. We're joined by Hunter Mahan with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio.
Now, Hunter, you heard us on a little bit of talking about the Olympics, and I know you're not going down to the Olympics, but some of your colleagues who were supposed to go have backed out. When you think about playing sport and doing it internationally, because golf is a very international type sport, can you afford to worry about security? Like I know a lot of people are positioning around Zika and all these other things, but is that something that even comes into your mind as an international athlete?
Well, I think so. It has to. As an athlete, as a golfer, golf is global. One of the best things that golf has really given me is to play all over the world and to see the world. And I've been to Africa and Asia. I've seen so many incredible things because of golf. And to travel the world is one of my, it's a gift I want to give to my children, is to see the whole world, because it's a beautiful, amazing place. And you realize how lucky you are, how lucky I am to be born in the U.S., in this great country. And all the perks and all the amazing things that we get to be a part of the U.S. is, we take it for granted, and I'm just so proud to be an American and to live in this great country, and I've gotten to represent myself with the Ryder Cup and President's Cup multiple times. So, but seeing the world is one of the most amazing things that I've ever gotten to do, and I feel lucky to have done that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, it's ridiculous. I mean, I know you've worked your whole life to get to this level, and you've earned every step of the way. But, I mean, hacks like us, we've got to wait for tee times. We've got to get badgered by our wives. You go to play golf again. We have to go and buy shirts. You get stuff sent to you. You get clubs sent to you. They give you tee times. And, oh, yeah, by the way, if you do halfway decent, you get paid. I mean, what the hell, man? I mean, you honestly have the best job in the world, man. You really do.
I feel very lucky to get to play golf for a living and then to make a great living on top of that. I can only really compare it to talking about sports all day. I mean, those are really they're neck and neck for having the best jobs in the world, I think. I get it. Golf is so great because it's just it's a challenge every day. You got to wake up and it's a new day, and nothing what you did yesterday can impact what you do right now. And that's the challenge in the game is the frustration I know seeing amateurs playing in pro-ams. One day or one shot they hit great, and then they can't remember how they did it. And that's the challenge in this game, is to do it every single day and in the most intense kind of pressure situations.
A good description, and we're nodding along saying, yep, that sounds familiar. Just pure to wedge. Now we dribbled a 3-wood off the tee. We're talking to Hunter Mahan with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio.
Now the Open Championship is coming up in a little bit here, and Royal Troon, 145th one. We saw it last year, the amazing finish with Zach, but what can we expect this year? And we know it's always difficult. You talk about being international, to know American courses. The U.S. Open is very different. The Masters is very different. To go play on some of these European, in this case, Scottish courts?
Yeah, I think the hardest thing preparing for the British Open is the elements can change so fast, and you can get there and you can practice with a certain wind all week. And some guys get there earlier and play, Friday, Saturday beforehand and try to figure out the golf course. But the golf course can change so drastically that you can play on one wind for 4 or 5 days, and then it can totally flip around on you. And there are so many, even just pot bunkers and little places where the ball can end up that you didn't notice one day. And the next day, that's where you're hitting it, and you're like, I haven't hit this shot all week. I've been here for 5, 6 days, and have a brand new shot that I haven't seen. So really trying to figure out your game plan with certain winds, where you want to hit the ball off the tee, the distances, where you want to leave yourself on the greens. And if you do miss the green, where do you want to hit it, depending on the pin locations. There's a lot to do at a British when it comes to the caddy and the players figuring out what's our game plan this week, where do we want to miss it, where can we get up and down 90% of the time. There's just a lot to think about and a lot to prepare for. So a lot of the work is happening before Thursday, and when Thursday rolls around, you just have to stick to your game plan and be very disciplined to that.
Now, I know you are part of a digital video series featuring Tempur-Pedic beds, and one of the videos you talk about how you can hit the ball farther when you sleep on a Tempur-Pedic bed. So, does Tempur-Pedic provide beds when you travel internationally is the question. Tell us what you have going on with them.
Well, they're launching a new campaign calling the Sleeping on the Lead campaign, which is basically when a player has got a 54-hole lead. There's a lot to think about, and between the time they finish their third round and starting their fourth round. So one of the keys, I think Tiki would know, as any athlete or really any person, the better night's sleep you get, the more comfortable you feel on your bed,
True.
The more rejuvenated and physically and mentally you will be after that night's sleep. And so Tempur-Pedic is making everyone aware of that. And when a player goes a 54-hole lead, goes on to win, they're going to give some mattresses away. So to a fan, the fan can win the Tempur-Pedic Breeze mattress if they go register online at TempurPedicGolf.com. And they're also going to give a mattress away to a military veteran of that area. So,
nice.
And that's going to run. It started last week at the Bridgestone. It's going to run all the way to Atlanta and the Tour Championship. So that's a great time for fans to get involved, try to win a mattress, and cheer for those 54-hole leaders.
We're all about the vets on this show. That's awesome. Hunter Mahan with us here on Tiki and Tierney. Cool concept overall, by the way. Let me ask you this. Go back to what you said about the Pro-Am. I battle this more than Tiki because I try to play more than Tiki, and I'm a grinder, and it drives. The other day, I actually quit. I sent my wife a text. I said, I just played my final round, and then, of course, I parred the next two holes, and it sucked me right back in. I threw a hybrid into the lake. I suck. And there's a lot of people who listen to our show that battle those demons, and we want to try to extract some enjoyment from the game, but you can't when you shoot 104 and you look like a girl off the tee. So let me ask you this. What advice would you give our audience, and not just to enjoy the game, that doesn't work. Give us one basic technical recommendation that can really help us get from point A to point B with realistic expectations.
Sure. Well, I think it's amazing when I go watch players and amateurs that go to the range and they say, well, I'm hitting it great on the range and I can't take it to the course. Well, usually the number one thing, the difference from the range and the course is there's no real targets on the range. And when you get on the golf course, all of a sudden you see all the trouble, and all you're trying to do is to not hit it in the trouble. And that's such a bad thought for your brain, because your brain's going to start focusing on the bunker or the water hazard or the trees. So the best thing you do is go on the range, sit down a club or an alignment stick and figure out where's my target and where am I hitting it, and hit some shots and figure out, okay, I'm trying to hit at that flag and my ball seems to slice 10 yards left of it, or you hook it right, whatever the case may be, and then just kind of adjust yourself. So you figure out how am I going to hit at that target, and then just do that and figure it out, okay, I have to aim that far left or right of the flag, and then make a normal swing. So you can kind of put yourself in a situation where here's my target and here's how I'm going to swing and how am I going to get it there. And then when you go out there and play, just adjust to that. But setting an alignment stick down, good alignment, good posture, those are